things you should know about the stereo system in this truck. Okay, first of all, you have a USB plug-in here. If you want to play your own iPhone or MP3 music, you can do that. Here's a switch down here. Turn that on to power up the whole system. This is in radio mode here, and that's all you need to do. Now, if you ever disconnect the batteries, you're going to lose the auxiliary selection. The auxiliary selection is right there, and you can go online to a manual to find out about this Kenwood stereo, how to add that auxiliary back on there in the selections. But this is how you turn on the sound system to the back with the video capabilities. You hit the auxiliary button, lock it on, now it's an auxiliary. And we'll go to the back and we'll show you the rest of that part. Okay, so make sure when you go to open up the back of the truck, you go to fade and you make sure it's on rear 4. Rear 4 will give you plenty of sound coming out of the cab, and it's also going to put a lot of the sound to the back. Now, if you want to display the truck with the door shut, locked up, you can then put all of your audio going to the back. The subs still work for your tailgating or promotional event. Let's go to the back of the truck now. Okay, so you open up the back of the truck. This whole bed slide slides out, and on the disc that I have in there, the SD, it's already got some videos on there, but you can load it up however you want. You can do logos, pictures, it'll start playing files. So these speakers here, if you move them out here, make sure these are regularly checked to be tightened. The bolts here on the swing arm for the speakers, because you want a wider spread of sound like that. But, and this is how far the bed slides out. All bolted in, it's strong. So to close it back up, so you don't hit the sides. Make sure those bolts are tightened on a regular basis. Then you can slide this whole bed. Like if it's raining during an event, you can still play and everything is protected. Now, this truck is so tall, when you go to shut the tailgate, I'm about 6'3". I gotta pull down on that shock to shut the gate. I also wanted to point out, if you want continuous play without draining on your batteries, right in there is a 110 plug-in, and inside that storage box there's a double male extension cord. Definitely plug into the truck first before you plug it into house power. One time I did it the other way and there was sparks, so you don't want that. Make sure on a regular basis you are greasing this truck. About once a year, my mechanic always went through, and every bolt you see, you want to tighten it up because it is a rough riding truck, although with the air ride seats, you're good. This truck, because the big super singles, you can turn left all day, but when you turn right, you got to be careful you don't hit that grease fitting right there. It basically, the best way to grease that Zerk is to grease it and then either knock it off or the tire will knock it off for you. Okay, that beep can be obnoxious. Check gauges comes on occasionally, either at low RPM or when this instrument cluster does not read correctly. That voltmeter is incorrect, so it might need to be repaired or replaced, but last year we put in a monster alternator, so it's not a charging issue. And in a matter of seconds, the RPMs are up and the check gauges and beep is gone. Just another quirk. So here's another quirk about this truck. You never want to put the fan above medium. Air conditioner or heat, for some reason, when you put it on high, it blows the fuse. So don't go above medium. Air conditioning and heat, good thing the cab is small. You're comfortable, just don't put that fan on high. All right, so when you're looking at the dash, that space right there is for a backup camera. The backup camera I had just went bad about 2 months ago, so that needs to be replaced. That wire right there goes to it. I don't know if you can find just the screen or you have to run a whole new camera to the back of the truck, but it's needed in this truck because you can't see out the back. I wonder why.